Welcome to the LANCave, where we're living as nerds. I'm Patrick, joined by Owen.
Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis Core Rebirth Remix times 2 plus 7 to the 17th power.
Now that's getting into some Kingdom Hearts level stuff there.
Well, Nomura is involved, so I thought it was fair.
No, that's definitely fitting. We're here talking gaming, video games, nerdy stuff, Star Wars, Star Trek, all those kinds of things. If you like those kind of things, then you're at the right place. And we did get some Final Fantasy news, as Owen was talking about. We got Final Fantasy. Yeah, that's the wrong one. Hold on, that's different.
I'm really excited about this game, but that is not Final Fantasy.
It is adorable. Had the wrong thing queued up. This is what I was trying to queue up. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Thoughts on the name? I like it.
Yeah, because now, so it was remake, rebirth, and I was like, so does that mean we're setting up for reunion? Is that the easy play for the third one? Because they also have now confirmed this is a 3-part trilogy,
which made me happy. Yeah.
So that tells me I'm going with remake, rebirth, reunion is what I think it is.
Yeah.
Based on knowing absolutely nothing, but Aerith is talking in here. She does say, did I die in it? It stands to reason for me that somewhere in this game, maybe at the end, maybe earlier, who knows, she disappears. Reunion happens in the third one, maybe. Very high level speculation, but dang, doesn't look good. I did not expect to see a whole teaser on it. I just expected to be hey, we're still working on it. But this scene right here, dude, I was like, oh, jam, let's go.
Yeah, I think that now there's speculation obviously on are we, obviously this is the Nibelheim.
It's a Nibelheim.
Yeah, and that
is
it
past or present Nibelheim?
I don't think that we're gonna team up with. Well, that's actually a good question. So with the ending, we're gonna spoil Final Fantasy VII Remake and the original game. Apologies for anybody who's not played it. It's been a bit, so just spoiler warning on that. But we ended Final Fantasy VII Remake that there's an acknowledgement of Zack, and Zack may be alive, and we don't have the unreliable narrator, or maybe we don't. If Cloud is recounting the events of Nibelheim, which is what we are assumed to be happening here, that was not Cloud that went side by side with Sephiroth. That would have been Zack that was with Sephiroth during that time. So good call and a good question on your part. Is this past or present? Because if it's past, it's not accurate. It can't be accurate. If it's present, is Sephiroth trying to say, hey, let's talk about what happened? Or I don't know. Does Sephiroth realize that we now have a divergence in the timeline? There's a lot of unknowns, and it just makes me really excited.
Yeah, I loved everything. This whole thing. So what this came from was the Final Fantasy VII 25th anniversary stream. I think it was about 11 minutes long, and it was 11 minutes of, I would say 9 of the 11 minutes was pretty solid. There was some merch crapola in there
through that.
But all Final Fantasy VII all the time, baby. Ever Crisis, I am a little shocked at the state of this game in terms of what has been promised is a beta for a mobile game at the end of 2022. So that means whatever they're doing to piece this whole thing together, I'm still wondering if Dirge of Cerberus is in it and stuff, but they're piecing this whole thing together. But dude, we're getting, you realize, with Crisis Core coming to every console. I'm gonna buy that game twice, by the way. I'll tell everybody that right now. I'm gonna buy it on Switch. I'm gonna buy it on PS5. It's already gonna happen. I need it mobile. I need it on the best thing it can be played on. We get Crisis Core. 6-ish months later, we get Final Fantasy 16. 6-ish months later, we get Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Baby, this is I already got my whole next year, like, and somewhere in there is Breath of the Wild 2. I'm gonna have an amazing 12 months starting when Crisis Core comes out, dude.
Yeah,
I was a good old time.
Oh yeah, I mean, I was so excited when I saw, you know, this Ever Crisis trailer, when I saw Crisis Core. It almost seemed like, I'm like, are we really getting all of this at once? Like, did I miss something? And maybe that's an older game. Of course, you know, Crisis Core being a remake of
it's a
remaster. Yeah.
They did say that there's some ground up, like, character model stuff redone, new voices, but you know, it seems like they're treating it well from what we saw.
I just got so much Final Fantasy VII right there that I'm like, I felt like I was slipping for a moment. Like, did I miss a game that came out? We can't be really getting all of this like within the next year and a half, but we are. Year and a half. I say year and a half because they said 2023. Sorry, I'm mixing up. Summer 2023 is Final Fantasy 16, which we'll talk a little bit about in a bit. But the Final Fantasy 7, there was just Final Fantasy 7. We don't have a date for this. Did they say 2023? I don't think they did.
For which one? Ever
I can't
Crisis?
remember. For sorry, Rebirth.
Rebirth is winter 2023.
Okay, so it is winter. So we have
there's a good
summer
chance
2023.
Not a good chance, but that obviously means there's a chance it slides into 2024. But they said that it's in a good state, not as good of a state as 16. 16 is playable start to finish, according to the interview that we read. But so there's a chance that 7 gets pushed into 2024. We'll see, but you know, fingers crossed that with, you know, 18 months that they're slapping a timeline on it, you know, we still could. That means they're giving them, by saying winter, they're giving themselves until December to get it out, which they don't have a problem doing. I know some people don't like to miss the Game Awards and stuff, but Final Fantasy 15 came out, I think, like December 7th or so when it came out, so they don't mind a December release because we're gonna buy it anyway.
Well, it's also a property like this or Zelda. They can release it at any time in the year, and I would say arguably some Bethesda titles, arguably no matter when you release it, it's going to
get released. Hey,
it's going to be top of mind for people, but not everyone is at that level. I would argue that Mario may not even be at that level at this point. If they release a Mario game, it may or may not.
Mario will do just fine.
It'll do fine on sales. I mean, like in regards to people's game of the year, kind of like, was this the best game? Oh no, it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell. I just mean like I love Mario. I'm just saying that the Final Fantasy could release it anytime. It's gonna sell, and it's going to be game of the year. Everything that I'm seeing on 16.
These models look so good, dude.
Yeah.
For Crisis Core, like, again, some people are accusing them of like really milking 7, and there's definitely some truth to that. But as long as they're making it all quality, you can milk it all you want. If you're making good content, milk the property. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's just that's what it really comes down to. If it's good and you're milking it, you're gonna get my money anyway. It's whenever it starts being subpar, like a Dirge of Cerberus, which was a very average game, but Crisis Core is not. I mean, it's been stuck on PSP forever, so it's going to have its limitations there. But you can tell from like the model remakes on this that it is being treated well, which is important. I'm waiting to see if they announce anything, like any kind of special collectors or physical editions, or if this is just something that I'm going to buy digitally. Although I'll probably buy physically too. You never know. But, I'm going to own this game so many times.
Yeah, same. I mean,
it's
instant buy for Rebirth, but this one looks great too. This isn't
an instant buy for you?
No, it is. It is it may not be a buy multiple times.
Okay, that's fair.
But at the same time, I love Final Fantasy VII so much that all of these games may fall into the category of I'm going to buy it digitally so I don't have to wait, or I may. the convenience of digital, but I also like having it on my shelf. And I know that's splurging. It's a little extra, but
no, I can tell you 16 is a day one digital and physical buy. 7 Rebirth is a day one and digital and physical buy. Like, both of those will be owned in both capacities. I wouldn't say it's a mistake because I like opening my stuff and seeing the thing, but some parts of me do wish that I never opened my remake copy. But it's up there in as good a condition as you can for having taken the shrink wrap off. But dude, 16 also, man. Let's go. Like, we already got a pretty sweet trailer, and now, like, Yoshi P's making the rounds, talking to people, like, throwing out some little tidbits. My couple favorite parts about this: playable from start to finish. They are working on a lot of voice acting. They're doing more than just English and Japanese voice acting, so there's going to be that. Each icon battle is a different version of battle. He mentions a potential like first-person shooter vibe on one of the battles. He mentions like a fighting game type battle. He mentions a wrestling game. I was like, a wrestling game, dude? All right. And he says that they didn't show much of that in the trailer because he didn't want to get into spoiler territory, so you just kind of see the icons there. And then among some other things where I could gush about this game all day, but the player character, this is definitely more ARPG focused. You are playing as one person. You will have party members that you probably like add some strategery to, but you do not be them, so you're going to be your main man, and he's powered by different icon powers that affect his build. And Yoshi said that you can do multiple builds, like in terms of building it how you want to play the guy, which excites me. Like, if there's certain styles that you want to add via the icons. What dude, I could talk all day, and I just did. So what do you got to say about it?
When he was talking about the different battles, first of all, the I always get it wrong, and I wanted to say something else. Econ, I think, is how it's pronounced. I think icon.
I've been saying icon, but
the summon versus summon. So econ or icon, as they're referred.
Your famous Ifrits, Shivas, Odins.
Yeah. Them discussing that type of battle, or player versus that, or I like the different aspects of that. I like when they were bringing up first-person shooters, when they were bringing up wrestling games, that sort of thing. I had the almost like a feeling flashback, not of the feeling of being in the Golden Saucer and playing the mini games that were in there, and I feel like, not that they're going to have it in that fashion, but that type of ability to like to dabble, a game that can dabble into different gaming styles, I think is really cool. I like of course the action element of this. 15 solidified that. 15 and 7 remake proved that we're ready for that as Final Fantasy period fans. I also like the idea. I like that it's following one character. Final Fantasy VII did that well, and others. I can have good stories of my companions, but the idea of, like, for example, Mass Effect. Mass Effect's a great story. The side characters are amazing, and I didn't have to play as the character directly to appreciate the character. Or I don't have to play as the character directly to appreciate the character. I don't know if we're going to be able to give them commands a la 7, or let's say I was trying to say Dragon's Dogma. I didn't mean that.
Well, 7 remake, you can switch off. I imagine it's got to be something where you can do some combos with them, because to be clear, he also talked about the combat. The combat director for this game is the Devil May Cry combat director, so there's gonna be some of that, and they wanted to make it clear it's not like hack and slash Devil May Cry, but you're gonna see some cool stuff. Like, you can see that kind of thing right there, where you're lifting them up on the ground, you're creating different things using the powers that have. So I imagine that there's going to be like some party character combo type things, and then I imagine that there's also just like a general like I want you to be defensive. I want you to be all out attack or something like that. That's at least what I'm thinking
you're fighting.
right now. Yeah. Because that's happening. I don't want to spend too long talking about what we're playing because it really doesn't matter that much. But I'm playing Tales of Arise right now, and that's one of the things that you can do in there is you can switch off during battle, but it really doesn't make you. It doesn't ever feel like you should, really, unless the character you're playing as dies. That's the only time I've switched. So you tell your party, you're like, I want you to be all out attack, which I've done in the early levels because why not? Then there's like balanced, and then there's use magic only when necessary type things. You know, some of the classic like JRPG
strategy
stuff, which, you know, is cool. I'm 10 hours in, so we'll see how I'm doing in a little bit, but it's fun to pick up a different JRPG series. I've been such a big Final Fantasy stan my whole life, and I've literally never touched Tales, and so it's cool to be playing something else that has had like a long history, and made by a different company. This one's made by Bandai Namco, so it's fun. But that's kind of what I'm thinking in terms of 16 is like that party dynamic where it's like singular control. Tell the others, like you just kind of set it pre-battle. You don't really tell them what to do during the battle, but
no, I could see that. I'm looking forward to the story. I haven't played Tales either. I think Tales and Ys are the two like other big.
I bought Ys 8 whenever it was on sale, and I've never touched that series either.
I don't remember offhand if I own any of that, but that's another series that people keep telling me to get into. I've dabbled in a few others, but I know there's good stuff there. I just haven't had have time to dive into it. I did dive back into Resident Evil 7 because we got current gen upgrades for 2, 3, and 7 because we don't have 4 yet.
Is it so like 60 FPS or?
So 60 FPS, ray tracing. So it's
Very
good.
Nice.
I'll say Resident Evil 7 is such a dirty, gritty game that I don't think it probably. I mean, the HDR looks good in it, but I'm probably going to jump into 2 afterwards, and because I think that's going to have better lighting dynamics. 7 is just so dark and disgusting and gritty that I don't think it really shines there. But this was the I'll hold you over thing, and I realized this loop is really too small. This is a hold you over from Capcom to say we're holding you over until Resident Evil 4 remake, which I think this was something that we all expected when they did a remake of 2. Everyone was asking about 4. They weren't even asking about 3 at that point. They were like, they did 2, are they going to do 4? Then they did 3. Okay, are they going to do 4? I think this is a game that I think 4 still can hold up better than 2. But yeah, we got a trailer on that, and we also got some Resident Evil Village DLC with not only some additional mercenary stuff. Actually, I think we talked about this a little bit our previous week as well, but they showed more Capcom.
Yeah, we talked about 7. We didn't really. I don't think we hit too much on the DLC, but I know that it's there.
Yeah, this is the additional DLC, which is Shadow of Rose. Rose is spoilers because I know Owen doesn't care. This is Ethan Winter's daughter. He's the guy from Final Fantasy 7 and 8
Resident
Village.
Evil 7.
Yeah, so he's the lead
Resident
dude
Evil
from
7
that.
And 8.
Yeah.
He said Final Fantasy again.
Yeah, I'm just so excited about Final Fantasy.
There's too many sequels.
So many sequels and so many sevens.
People talk about sequel issues in movies. Why don't you come play some video games?
Yeah. Let's talk about Code Veronica versus 3 and all that. No, this is Ethan Winter's daughter from RE7 and 8. So this is his daughter who I'll just leave it at that because the rest would be spoilers and such. But I didn't think we were going to get a DLC with her. I thought she was going to get her own game. I thought this was going to go into Resident Evil 9, but we're going to get her in, and she still may be in 9. But the DLC here, Shadows of Rose, coming out October. Sorry. So I'm excited about that. Of course, not your cup of tea, but I'm back playing 7.
I'm glad you're excited.
Because I want, yeah, and I'm going through, since I've already beat 7. I'm going through a platinum list just to see if I can pop as many trophies as I can during the playthrough. Because why not? Yeah.
See, what you would have trouble popping anything on is if you were trying to play KOTOR 2 on the Switch right now, because you would have some issues. Apparently, the game is unbeatable.
Yep.
Bugged. Which is funny, given that KOTOR 2 was already like it just kind of ends already. Yeah, but this time is really unfinished. Real big bummer, and honestly, really not a big bummer because like I was in a hurry. I was still waiting for them to put the DLC out, but the fact that I was singing this dev's praises like a couple weeks ago, being like they're taking care with it. They have charge of the actual KOTOR remake, and I feel like they care a lot, and then they go and release a game that has obviously not been QA'd because it's literally a mission about halfway through the game just crashes the game and there's no way past it. You can't go around. If you have kids, you can go on a bear hunt, but you can't complete this quest.
It really surprised me. It had to be at this point. I feel like it had to be either missed in QA or it was something that was added later on, and then the QA wasn't actually playing through the game in its entirety or playing that level at that point.
Like they were playing like level by level instead of playing through to see. I don't know, dude.
I imagine. I mean, of course, I may be completely wrong, but I haven't seen any Q&A where they're like, "Here's the new patch. Now play through the game in its entirety, and let us know if you find anything." I mean, maybe that's done. The more that I see is kind of dabbling around and making sure you're finding out if finding any issues that you can find. Usually, it's not. Let me just beat the entire game. Of course, you can pop between levels, as you know, and you have dev codes and cheat code aspect. But I don't know how this got missed. They're aware of it and actively working on it, but there's no time frame that I've seen unless something came out recently as to the fix. So probably sooner rather than later. They do have a workaround. Okay,
that was published today on Video Games Chronicle. It says, for now, our suggested workaround is to warp past the point where the game crashes using the cheats menu. Apparently, there's a cheats menu. If you triple click your left thumbstick and open the cheats menu, you can warp, and it says warp to OND 504, and don't go to the merchant quarter as your game will crash.
No thanks.
I'm waiting for a while to play this game anyway because I'm waiting for the DLC to be added in. It's nice that there's a workaround, I guess.
I guess so you can actively do that instead of them coming out with a quick patch to skip temporary patch to fix it in the meantime. I'm hoping. I would imagine it's not going to be something that's going to be bugged for such an extended period of time, but I say that as to, I don't know, is that going to be like 2 weeks before they patch it? Hopefully it's not more than like a week or two.
It says they're working on it. It says based on their data, it's only affecting a small number of users, but who knows what that
I don't want to roll those dice. I don't want to roll those dice, get emotionally invested in the game, enjoy the game, and then done.
You gotta be careful when you're looking up Star Wars related stuff on the day of a season finale. By the way, I literally looked at Aspire's tweet, and if you even scrolled down 2 seconds, there was like a GIF of Kenobi. Luckily, I didn't. I just saw his beautiful bearded face, and then immediately X'd out of that tab.
Anytime you see something like that, be like, nope, it was fan art. It was fan art. That's not real. Like, just to not burn it into your brain, because otherwise you're going to be waiting for it. I assume
you haven't watched it yet.
I did actually watch that right before the show.
Oh, okay, I'm watching it immediately after this podcast.
So. I'm tired. Had a little bit of time. We brought home some barbecue, and I had enough time. It's a 50.
More importantly, what barbecue did you bring home?
It's Sonny's. It's
No, I'm talking about like what meats.
Oh, brisket. I got some brisket.
Oh, okay. Brisket.
I usually
I'm not gonna know what. Hopefully, I'm guessing Sonny's is somewhat local, so I'm probably not gonna know it.
It's a chain. I think it's mostly regional. It's all right. I mean, it's no
Is it better than like Dickie's or something?
Honestly, I'd say it's probably on par.
Okay, well, Dickie's isn't terrible. So
Dickie's is passable. Like I'm not going to be sad when I'm eating it, but it's not. It's
not hard eight.
It's not hard eight. It's not Lockhart's.
Yeah.
I mean, it's decent. It's just not great. There's a local place around me, but it's been hit or miss. Like sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not so great. I try to go to the local places, but
there's this dude that I follow on Instagram, and he lives around here, and he has giant trailer, and he just goes and parks in like parking lots of like not abandoned but closed businesses.
Mm-hmm.
He parks in these parking lots all around like Carrollton, Louisville, Plano, and is like constantly cooking. Like that thing is just like always sitting there smoking something. Dude, some of the best brisket I've ever had in my life.
Yeah,
like
no, that's awesome.
I think about this guy daily.
There is a local place I need to check out that I have no idea why I haven't, because I think they're less than half a mile away. But it's a little local place down the street that when you drive by you can barely see. I mean, it's probably really good because it barely has any signage, and it's a guy with a smoker out in the front. They have the restaurant, but it's the guy.
That's the guy.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is probably really good.
That's those dudes. That's how I found this guy. Word of mouth. It's the dude that's the word of mouth guy.
Yeah. So I think that's probably. I mean, I haven't gotten a flyer. I don't think it's probably great. I will say I did crack up that. It reminded me of this TikTok though. Like whenever I get. Like there's some sad barbecue places around here, and some sad like that's supposed to be like down home cooking kind of stuff, some southern food, and there was a TikTok with this guy, and he was like, all right, I'm gonna see like it was some restaurant, and he's like, let's see how good their brisket is, and he opened up the bag, he pulls it out, and he's like, wait, this is a potato salad, and it was like chunks of kind of cooked potatoes and like it looked like pickle juice. He was like, I don't even need to try the brisket. I'm done. He didn't want to throw it away. Like what? He just went up and said, I want some brisket and potato salad, mac and cheese, and the potato salad. Like I thought, I've seen some bad potato salad, but it looked like, the chunks of like it's not really tender. It's just these chunks of like mostly cooked potato. Yeah, I feel like it was that, just like in this. Had some I don't know what else was in there, but it was like looked like pickle juice. Like what yeah. So I haven't had anything that bad. You can't
mess with potato salad, dude. Like
I don't know how you mess it up. You do mustard based.
No,
right?
I'm not saying you can mess up potato salad. I'm saying you don't mess with it. I'm saying if you're gonna make it.
Yeah.
You better do it, because that's just a thing. No. And we'll stop talking about food here in just a second. But I remember one of the funniest stories that somebody told me was like that you go to the family barbecue or whatever, and somebody brought potato salad with raisins in it, and he was like, I don't know where you're from that you put raisins in your potatoes.
I've been to a lot of white people cookouts. I have not been to as many black people cookouts, but a lot of white people cookouts. I've never seen raisins and potato salad. Now I've seen some old people make like the Jello, like the stuff they used to do in the 70s where it's like vegetables in Jello. It wasn't vegetables, but it was like fruit in a Jello mold. I've seen that. I don't get it, but I think it was a 70s thing and some older people were still making it. But I've never seen raisins and potato salad. Like, I don't know who did that, but there's some really bad cooks out there. And
yes, there is.
Yeah, and it makes me feel better about my like passable cooking. I'm not saying I'm the greatest chef or anything, but it's decent enough. It's decent enough that. What was that?
Go ahead.
I would say it's decent enough that if we go out, sometimes Whitney, like when Whitney's having like eating some like grilled chicken, or I like grilling a lot, but like if it's tacos or fajitas or grilled chicken or anything like that, and it's a compliment when she's like, yeah, we could have just stayed home, and that's her way of saying like, you make this better than this restaurant, and I think that's a compliment. It's a pretty good one.
Does it make you feel better than upgrading your PlayStation Plus to Extra?
Yes, because I have not. You have
waiting
not
until
either,
Stray
right?
comes out. The day before Stray comes out, I'm upgrading to Extra because Stray is $30, and to upgrade my PlayStation Plus Extra for a year is going to be $41.
Okay, so mine's going to be 63, as I have
to upgrade for 574 days.
574 days, yeah. So I've got quite a bit stacked here. If I want to go to Extra, for those of you who don't know, the PlayStation Plus tiers have been launched as of last week. Essential is your regular PlayStation Plus. Extra adds your games catalog, so that is your downloadable and some streaming games catalog in regards to their. It's not Game Pass, but it's quasi answer to Game Pass. Premium adding additional cloud streaming and game trials here. And I believe this is the cloud streaming that will add your PS3. So if you want PS3, you got to go all in with the premium this is the prorated price to bump my my subscription into premium. So premium is $120. I'm gonna get that wrong. Are you looking it up right now?
What, for the year?
The prices, yeah, I couldn't remember offhand. I'll look it up. Plus prices, the price tier. So, sorry, I was wrong. So 59. There we go. 59.99.
Premium 12 months for 120.
120. Okay, so that's your premium. So 59.99
for Extra.
Yeah. So, and honestly, I think Extra will get the majority of your needs. If you don't care as much about PS3, this is a decent price. So for $99, you get all the bells and whistles. It's still not a Game Pass killer, I will say. And if you have a PlayStation 5, or in some cases maybe a 4, you may have a lot of the games already, but I think it's a decent service, especially if they're going to be adding more day one games, because PlayStation's got some great quality. It's the reason PlayStation is beating Xbox this generation so far when it comes to console sales, though that Xbox Series S is still selling pretty well.
Yeah, it really depends on if they continue doing these $20 and $30 games day and date. We already know for sure they're never going to do a PlayStation first party game day one for either premium or Extra. But if they keep doing things, like if I'm getting a Stray every couple months, let's say even every 3 months, let's say like once a quarter I get like a Stray level $30 game, and then even let's say like once a year I get some AAA game, not PlayStation's obviously, but let's say I get something in there, your value is then built in to that stuff. And then if they're regularly adding other stuff, because we still don't have our 400 game list, so whatever deals they're working on, maybe they're working, like hopefully in their mind that this was like some kind of soft launch maybe, and then we still haven't gotten like a PlayStation main direct. We had the state of play. We haven't gotten like a first party state of play or anything. We got the third party VR update, but maybe for the fall, maybe they do a rollout, they add another 100 games or another whatever number of games to the service, including one big title that's like day and date, including something big. Like imagine, even though Microsoft's in the middle of buying Call of Duty, but they're not going to do it. They make too much money. But imagine if they did something like a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 in November, here's a big game. Like if they manage to do that, extra is going to be good enough for me. $100 a year. I already pay the $60 a year tier anyway.
Yeah.
I think that will probably work out.
So my prediction on this, when it comes to that type of release, we know they're not going to do day and date, like you said. They've said we're not going to do first party day and date. We're not going to get a Bloodborne 2 day and date, as much as as cool as that would be.
We're not getting God of War 2.
No. But
Ragnarok.
my prediction, I think, and it's going to be a ghost prediction, so it's not something that I can sit there and go, I got it. PlayStation hasn't officially, other than some statements, PlayStation's dropping their games on PC about 2 years or so after it releases. I predict, again, it may not be something official that they announce. I predict a trickle of games that came out year and a half, maybe 2 years. I'd like it to be a year or so out that they drop the game on PlayStation Plus. So you're not getting, this is extra tier, but you won't be getting the new hotness. But a year in, they've recouped all the money they're gonna get out of the people who need to play it when it launches. The games discount so much, 3-4 months after release, anyways. A year afterwards, I think would be a safe, but still sizzly enough thing to be like, oh hey, that's coming out. That game that was doing that, like I said, not official, but just the little trickle here and there, I think would be enough to get people to perk up, because that's still recent enough. You think about games what came out like last spring; those games are still recent enough that they're good, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think like it's definitely not like a Game Pass straight up competitor, but what PlayStation gets to say, well, our games are coming out, so we don't really need to we thought that this year was going to be the year of Xbox releases where we're going to see it. Now it's looking like it's supposed to be next year, and while it seems more likely next year, like we're still dealing with pandemic related delays. Like PlayStation gets to say, well, we had Horizon come out this year, and theoretically God of War is going to come out this year, and you're not getting them for free, but they're still good. So
they're quality, and Xbox doesn't. I mean, I love Xbox, and Game Pass is just a great deal, but the PlayStation quality is just considerably better at this point when it comes to first party, when it comes to exclusive stuff. People have been putting up memes in different groups that I'm in, but my favorite is I'm sure you haven't seen the South Park Game of Thrones episode, but the ongoing joke in the South Park Game of Thrones episode, because people were waiting for the dragons in Game of Thrones, so at the time of the South Park episode, you have George R.R. Martin, like they keep asking him, when is this coming? Oh, it's coming. It's gonna be great. And it just keeps dragging on and on and on. So people were taking that and they were putting like Xbox. Oh, the Xbox games are coming. Like eventually it's going to happen. Maybe we were waiting for this year, maybe next year. We still haven't, with Starfield being delayed, with Redfall being delayed. And I'm going to jump to that. We'll talk a little bit about the Xbox presentation and everything, but Starfield, the presentation, in my opinion, was good, and then I kind of realized a lot of the things that are lacking. But what did you think of the presentation?
It was,
it's fine.
It was fine.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the shipbuilding aspect. And
are you talking about? So we're talking strictly just Starfield?
Just Starfield, yeah. I'm gonna go into the little bit of the controversy. We'll talk a little bit about the other. But
it was fine.
Yeah.
This isn't like I'm already like always skeptical of Bethesda anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be able to play the game on Game Pass, so it's not anything that I don't really need to see it so much as I need to play it.
Yeah.
I need to play this game. There's already some, things that are whatever. Like it just seems like it's trying to do too much. especially for a game that says that you can beat it in 40
30?
hours.
Yeah.
30 to 40 hours, which normally I know Bethesda games normally are in like the 20s if you like just straight mainline it. So that becomes a problem for me. Like, is it trying to be dense for dense sake, or is there actually like meaningful content? I know a lot of people out there screaming at me like, have you played Skyrim and Fallout? There's always plenty to do, but it's like, do I want to do it though? Like, there's things about like terraforming a planet and dropping in on these procedurally like generated planets, and not all of them are going to have anything, which is fair. Most planets don't have anything. If you've ever thought about the universe, how many inhabitable planets there are versus planets that are just rocks. So dropping in your like little resource whatever, I don't know. So I gotta play it. That's all. At this point, I gotta play it, and I was hoping to play in November. Now first half of 2023, that's a very large thing. So the presentation was fine. It was just like I was already tired of talking about it, and to me, I didn't see enough just straight up gameplay. It kept flipping through so many different things, and I just wanted to, like, what I would have been happier with is like early on mission of the game. Give me 5 to 10 minutes of you just running around. That's the 10 minutes I wanted. It's just a chunk of, here's a quest, here's how it goes. I know it's maybe not what everybody else wants, but that's
I'll say we're not close enough to it, but I was hoping for what we got with Fallout 4 and with Fallout 76, which is, hey, not only is the game coming out, I don't think we'll ever get another situation like Fallout 4 where they say, hey, Fallout 4 exists, it comes out in 3 months. I've never seen a company do that, and Fallout 4 release wasn't bad. There were some bugs, but it wasn't bad in regards to Bethesda. You could beat the game at least. But with this, it's very grandiose. There's so much that they're trying to check off in here, and some people are bringing up though Starfield versus No Man's Sky and the similarities. So this, by the way, is some fan footage that cut together. So top is Starfield, bottom is No Man's Sky, and there's a lot of similarities in regards to base building. There's
No Man's Field.
Yeah. Well, and now that No Man's Sky has, maybe Starfield will launch and it's going to be like maybe it's going to be like a more, I don't know, realistic looking version of No Man's Sky. Maybe it'll be more like No Man's Sky is now. But
I think what's really going to come down to, like, I think the comparisons were definitely fair in terms of what you're doing. The thing is that you're looking, just based on what I'm seeing, you're looking at like, this is No Man's Sky, and then No Man's Sky stops, and then we still have a whole in-depth storyline, characters, and so on, where No Man's Sky is a straight-up survival game, and Starfield is not. Starfield,
I'd agree. Just from the gameplay loop, I agree. Yeah, I do agree. From a gameplay loop perspective, that similarity, but this is going to have more of a story, and the density in regards to, what is it, like 100 solar systems and 100, basically, hundreds of worlds. Was it 10? I can't even remember. The hundreds of worlds that you can land in, mostly empty, mostly procedural. 1,000
was the number.
Yeah, I think you're right. So having, so 10 solar systems, 10 planets, or whatever that math works out to, or I think that
10 times 10 is 100, but
that is 10 times 10 is 100. Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm trying to get to like I think we're only going to have maybe 6 to 8 planets that are actually crafted, that are actually made, to be this. So I don't know. I was thinking 10 times 100. I don't know why I said 10 times 10. But I feel like 6 to 8 of those are probably going to be, maybe 10 are going to be actually crafted. And then you're going to see a drop off where everything else is procedural, or almost everything else is procedural, where maybe it's like, oh, well, it's a big procedural planet, but it has like one city on it, or like a Cloud City kind of situation where it's a city that's sitting on the top of a gas giant, but you can mine the gas giant, that kind of thing. I could see that. There's no way they handcrafted missions and all that sort of thing on these. I think it's probably going to be a bunch of procedurally generated stuff, or maybe they procedurally generated it on their side and then just kind of combed it a little bit to make sure it was playable. I just smell so many bugs on this, though, that it feels like what they're doing is so lofty that there's no way they could have QA tested it, and a bunch of those planets are probably going to have issues. That's my fear in something this grand in scope. Am I going to play it? Yeah, I'm going to play it, but I don't
ever have any faith in them to have like a non-buggy launch. So if they ever prove me wrong, then maybe I'll stop giving them as much crap as I do. But I'm such a Bethesda hater at this point. I can't just stop being one now.
Yeah. Redfall, I'd say, looks better though. I'll say that briefly. I think Redfall. I feel like it's more of a solid concept, and I feel I get a very Left 4 Dead with more story kind of like feels to Redfall. I'm more excited about Redfall. I didn't play Deathloop, no.
Okay, because this is Arcane, so this is their their next game after Deathloop.
After Deathloop, yeah.
I don't know. It's it was this thing also got delayed until next year, so that was my whole thing about the Xbox thing. Like, the stuff that was cool about the Xbox was like Persona's coming to Xbox and it's coming to Game Pass and stuff. Like, that's a big deal to me. But anytime I was seeing anything Xbox first party studio, I was like, okay, I'll see you next year. Like, I didn't even really want to see it at that point. The only reason I wanted to see Starfield was just so they would stop talking about it without ever showing us any gameplay.
So now you can be like, all right, I've seen a little bit at least. Persona was a big thing.
People probably don't realize how big it is, and maybe people do. Maybe I'm not giving the regular consumer enough credit, but like, Xbox is not a JRPG console, and they've tried a couple times and failed. Persona is a big get. That doesn't mean they're getting Persona 6.
Yeah.
But getting 3, 4, 5 on Game Pass, like continuing their like Sega partnership, this is big. They've definitely made some mistakes. Like, how did they let Final Fantasy 16 be console exclusive? But this is cool. Yeah. But it was also confirmed that these are coming to PlayStation after the fact. So I already own Royal. I own 4 Golden on Vita. I'm wondering if it's cross-buy. I'm hoping it's cross-buy. It better be cross-buy with PlayStation 4. But so at that point, that just leaves Persona 3, which I'll probably just pick up on PlayStation because of trophies.
Yeah.
But for you Game Pass folks, go play Persona 5 for sure. Play 4 maybe. Play 3 maybe. But play 5 right.
5. Yeah, I've heard this is another series that I haven't gotten into that. I think there's a lot of love for that, and like you said, they haven't done well. They haven't been as I think that's one of the reasons why they haven't sold as well in Japan, as well as it's a self-fulfilling prophecy where people think that there aren't going to be as many JRPGs and that sort of that coming out on the console, though, so Microsoft doesn't release as many. So seeing this coming out more is good. The Series S is sold pretty well in Japan, but Xbox historically hasn't done so well over there. Also in the Xbox, there's a little bit here and there. I'll get off the Bethesda thing because the DLC for their online stuff was okay. Scorn, I'm excited about. I know, again, not your thing, but this trailer gave me exactly what I wanted in this game. It looks disgusting and visceral, and I'm all about it. What do you think of Minecraft Legends, though? Because I thought this was a little surprise, kind of.
I'm not really in on on the Minecraft. I thought cool for them continuing to do things with the franchise. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the strategy aspect.
But it's a tower defense game, so it's like that's not really my thing. Like, that was, if anybody remembers, it's hard to remember now because it's been a battle royale for so long, but Fortnite was a tower defense game. And you just have to like that kind of thing. So I'm sure that this appeals to somebody, but I'm probably never going to play it.
I probably won't either. I thought it was interesting that they added this. I feel like I know that there's a generation that is playing some of these. This will be like their first tower, someone's first tower defense game, a bunch of people's first, because of the appeal of Minecraft. And I was hoping that Minecraft Story Mode, the Telltale game, like I was hoping that would reinvigorate some people playing. I'm sure that that'll get more people to play those Telltale-like games, but I'd like to see a good like Minecraft RPG. If there's Minecraft RPG that I didn't know about, maybe that exists, but I'd like to see something like that to get this generation into more RPGs and role-playing, though Stranger Things I think is doing that as well. It's taking out the stigma when it comes to D&D. So maybe Minecraft doesn't need to do that. Maybe the what is it, Duffer Brothers? That's who it is, right? It's for Stranger Things.
Yes.
Yeah, Duffer like so maybe they did it in Minecraft. Didn't
trailer
have to do it,
for that dropped as well. If you're interested in the part 2, volume 2,
part 2,
volume comes out on July 1st. I would have rather they just dropped the show and not a trailer, but whatever.
They should have dropped the entire show July 1st. It's volume 1, volume 2. We waited. I didn't watch.
I keep getting grumpy
2 months?
about it.
Cool.
Because that Better Call Saul comes back next month as well.
Yeah.
It gives me something to do in July, I guess. But
yeah. But yeah, I that's the only positive thing I could say about this is like maybe it'll get, because I will say maybe it's just me, but I've talked to a few, I don't talk to 10-year-olds very often, but I talked to a few recently of friends or coworkers' kids, and it surprises me when because when bosses or not bosses, when my coworkers, one of my employees, or like my friends like to introduce me to kids, it's usually, hey, this is Patrick, he plays games, and like because kids it gives kids immediately something to talk to me about, and almost every one of them like play 1 or 2 games, and it's Minecraft, it's Fortnite, it's Fall Guys, it's one of like a few games,
Apex,
and that's it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, have you played this? I heard of it. Have you played this? I've heard of it. Like, so many games that I feel like we dabble a little bit more in the variety. And even when I was a kid, like I was playing more games, even if it was just a little rental thing or going over to a friend's house. But it used to be, of course, Five Nights at Freddy's.
I'll give everything a look if people if people tell me it's a great game. Like, it's hard for me not to. Like, I'm very easily swayable in terms of purchasing a game, unless it's just something where I'm just like, no, I suck at that. Like, I suck at real-time strategy games, so like it's got to be cheap for me to pick that up. But and that's only because I don't have like the fast enough clicky for it. But like I'll play some first-person shooters. I'll play a little tower defense. You never know. It's gonna be on Game Pass, so. Yeah,
I don't mind those single player. I will say real-time strategy. I thought I was decent at real-time strategy, just like I thought I was decent at fighting games. And then the internet came in. Yeah. Because I played, back in my day, I played like Warcraft on a LAN connection with two PCs. And
some Warcraft 3, some StarCraft, some StarCraft Brood War.
And playing against people that I knew wasn't a big deal. But as soon as I started playing online, I'm like, I have no idea how I'm getting Zerg rushed so early, and but it's I just felt like I was weird. I know it's a weird aside, but like every conversation that I have with kids nowadays, it's only a handful of games that they play, but they play a ton of them. But it's like one game for the last 2 years, 3 years is all they've been playing. That just kind of surprised me. I don't remember playing a game for 3 years, even Final Fantasy VII or Legend of Zelda. I don't think I played for 3 years straight. So I thought that thought that was weird. I have played a lot of Diablo though, and Diablo 4. Diablo 4 looks good, and the character creation looks great and everything, but we're going to have split screen co-op. And I was very happy
Still coming to every
that.
console, too.
Still coming to every console, surprisingly. They had to have done yet, so. Yeah. I really feel like, Diablo 3 runs really well on Switch. Diablo 2 Remake runs really well on Switch. So maybe they've toned down the graphics enough that you can get by for the Switch and PS4 and Xbox, because the game, when you look at it, it doesn't seem like it's that graphically intensive, but it does have the pixels. It does have it doesn't have as good
there's
lighting.
A lot of
and
stuff
everything.
going on.
There's a lot of stuff going on. You're just kind of zoomed out from
the procedural generated maps and stuff like that. Like if you look at this game right now, like the Switch can't run this. Like I don't think so. I'm wondering if it's going to be streaming on Switch, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm very excited about it, though. The split screen aspect got me really, really excited. Cross-play and cross-progression. So, if you want to play it on PC and you want to play it on console, it's good all around. Speaking of this, did you see you've probably seen some of the stuff about the Diablo Immortal, like loot boxes and that sort of thing. Yeah, the most recent thing on that was there was a player who, I think he got one of the top tier gems that it ended up costing him $16,000 US. Yeah, and then he deleted the character.
And then he uninstalled the game. Yeah,
uninstalled the game.
He was being funded by his watchers and stuff, so it wasn't like completely. But I do respect his mission of exposing this game for what it is.
Sorry, we switch off Diablo Immortal. I'm just making sure I didn't. As we're talking about that, because Diablo Immortal, that's trash. I still
have it downloaded. Like I still intend to play it just to see if it's fun.
I've played like 4 hours.
I've been playing too much console stuff. So, playing Final Fantasy 1 on my Game Boy. Like gotta have your priorities. Can't just be jumping into these new games whenever you got old games.
You got so many. Well, I didn't bring my Switch with me. I was just in Texas. That's the way we didn't have our podcast last week, as we weren't able to sync up. But I didn't bring my Switch because big brain Patrick thought, I've got a lot of work to do. I'm gonna be doing a lot of writing. I'll just bring my phone and my Kishi, hook that up, play some Diablo if I need to. And I didn't even think about on the plane you not having an internet connection. In the airport, the internet connection was so bad that it it just kept saying reconnecting. It would play, but it was lagging in regards to So
is Diablo Immortal an online game?
It's an online. Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's online only. So I got on the plane, started it up, and it's like can't connect to server. It is an MMO, as it were, and constantly online.
I just figured it would have like an offline version.
And if there was a way to do it, I didn't come across it, as trying to just even log in. Wasn't able to do it. Diablo, on the other hand, like Diablo 2, Diablo 3, you can have a single player offline character, and they don't care if you're where you are playing it. So that did bum me out, but that was my own doing. Diablo 4, hopefully we'll have an offline mode, so when you're in that situation of 3 hours where you're on a plane, or 6 hours in an airport, maybe I could still play this game. But yeah, I'm happy about that. And Hideo Kojima popped in and said hi, which I was surprisingly irritated a lot of people. Did you? I didn't put it in the notes, or I may have the petition. Yeah, I didn't put it in the notes.
I didn't see the petition.
There's a petition going around saying, Kojima, you've abandoned your fans, your install base and fan base on PlayStation. Please come back to PlayStation and don't, get rid of your, basically, scrap your contract with Microsoft and come back to PlayStation, as if that would be something he would entertain. I think it had 4,000 signatures on it when I saw it. I mean, there's a lot of him saying that it's a game that he's been wanting to make, and it's going to use streaming. I don't know, obviously, what to think about it. We have no details on whatever it is, but I think there's enough people that will. This moves people when they see icons like this. This will move some people over to if they didn't buy an Xbox now, they're watching Xbox more with Kojima comes over there, or they're hardcore fanboys and aren't going to move at all. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but I thought that was interesting.
I mean, it was cool that the rumors were true, and then also this really does just show Kojima's independence. As a play. So he says, if you're going to fund my artsy stuff, then cool. I find it strange where he's like, this is a game. I get to make the game I've always wanted to make. And I'm like, what was Death Stranding, man? Was that just something random thought in your head? Because there's no way that PlayStation can do it. It's like, hey, Kojima, you're out on your own now. You've been making Metal Gear Solid this whole time. Why don't you make us a walking sim? Like, there's no way that was like Sony's idea, right? So,
yeah.
What was
Jeffrey
that?
Bezos idea? I'm joking.
He's he's an artsy guy, and if he finds somebody to fund the game that is in his head at that particular moment, I think it's a good get for Xbox. Anybody who's complaining, just shut up. Like,
yeah.
Go buy a Series S and play it. Then that's all you got. That's all you really have to do.
Yeah.
The thing I'm wondering, is it going to be on Game Pass? But I am tired of seeing Kojima and then him just being like, oh yeah, I'm making a game, and then I'll see you later. Like, that happened when we first heard about Death Stranding, and he just showed us his company's logo, and I'm just like, shut up, dude.
And everyone's analyzing the reflection.
Those are the things those are the things I get tired of, where it's just like, whatever. I think it would have been way cooler and way more impactful if the first thing he goes is like, hey guys, here's a game. And again, even if it's like the first time we saw Death Stranding, where you see like weird Ritas holding a baby and you're like, what the crap is this? But even then, at least that was like tangible, as opposed to just being like, what's up, dudes? All right, let's see what Not that he talks like that at all, but just
I think that's the translation of his Japanese. It's like, hey dude, what's up? Hey,
it's like it's Taika Waititi just talking for him.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Hey man, I'm making a game for Xbox. Okay.
By the way, we just finished the latest season of What We Do in the Shadows, and we're going to watch the next season when that comes out next month. Did you see that? Speaking of Taika,
what again?
What We Do in the Shadows?
No.
It's a vampire. It's a documentary. Like, you got a documentary crew following around vampires. It's a comedy, and it's hilarious. There's a few. I wouldn't say very dark. It's kind of dark. It's vampires, but it's done in a very like silly way. I think it's hilarious. But yeah, Taika was one of the main. Him and Jermaine from Flight of the Conchords are in it, or were in the movie. They're not in the TV series, but yeah, I love Taika. He's going to be doing Star Wars. He's going to do a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, I am interested whenever it comes. Are we going to get like Star Wars Love and Thunder or what? Like, we'll see.
They did say it's going to be new characters. I don't know if you saw that. It's going to be something. Yeah, so
we need some new characters.
Yeah,
and, like, unless you're bringing back
what, Cad Bane or
no? What's his name? From
Boba Fett?
No, from episode 7, 8, and 9. Finn. Unless you're showing me some Finn, I don't really need any of like that canon's characters right now. I do need some more Finn.
I
Rey's
got
fine
enough
too. I love Daisy Ridley, but I want like Finn is the character that I like actually want to see right now, and we're probably never gonna get that again.
It's a cool growth for a character. Like I loved Poe, but we got enough Poe.
Yeah, Poe's fine.
I
got enough X-wing. I got enough like hotshot pilot guy. Like I don't need a hotshot pilot guy. I need somebody that was like, I'm a former stormtrooper turned rebel turned force sensitive. Like that's the kind of guy.
Yeah,
I'm looking for. And then there's like Daisy, who's just like, or Rey, who's just like, I'm just a naturally good character. Like I don't need that either. I need that.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. That's why he was interesting. But here we are. We almost did it. We almost made it through an entire episode without talking about Star Wars. We mentioned the Kenobi finale.
We mentioned Kenobi. Yeah, it's not going to happen. It was going to be that. It was going to be. It was that, or it was going to be Star Trek. One of those was going to pop up. Anyways, hope you guys
still
enjoyed
watching
the show
DS9 again. That's what I'm watching before bed every single night. I'm into season 2 now.
I may have out-nerded myself on this. I started watching Babylon 5.
Oh,
and I think that's like next level. A series
that has never like it's crossed my radar.
Yeah,
but I've just never done it. I might put it on like a thing where the cheapo meter, if I can get it for cheap.
Yeah, it's streaming on HBO Max. The CG is bad, but the story is very good. I'll just say that.
All right.
But yeah, so deep cut recommendation from me. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the show this week. Let us know what you think about Kojima's latest game. Do you think it's going to have anything connection to some previous games? I don't think it will. But let us know what you think in the comments of that. Let us know what you're excited about, and we'll see you later.
Bye.